Hi guys, welcome to iRacing. We're back in the Radicals at Donington Park, place I marshal. So I know this track very well, but I've really been struggling here, braking especially. Don't know why, it just locks up really easily and I've been struggling quite badly. I've qualified, well, back of those who've qualified. I think there's one guy who's slower than me. We're just coming up to the start. It's a pretty good race, and I hope you enjoy the race as much as I did. Despite my lack of pace, it was really quite enjoyable. Not bad. Oh, he braked early. Carnage. Ooh, hopefully no one will hit me. Well, there was a minor contact, but I don't think I actually suffered anything other than lost places there. I just saw it happening, knew I couldn't avoid, hit the brakes. There's at least 3 cars behind me, so I'm not plumb last, but lost a few. But turn 1 at Donington Park, Redgate. It's, you know, I've seen in the real Radicals an almost identical accident, which I was marshalling at turn 1 at the time, and it was very, very close. And in fact, in that accident, and what I was frightened of happening then, which didn't, thankfully. So some good driving from the guys behind me. Was that the cars the last place car actually T-boned one of the cars that had spun, and the cars that had spun included, I think, I will say I think, a front row guy who'd spun, and that was a red flag incident. So, you know, there was someone who lost their rag a little bit there on voice chat, but the fact of the matter is, it's Redgate, it's Donington Park, it happens. It just goes with the territory. You know, real racing drivers did have eggs in the same cars. The only different, I mean, they were SR3s, not SR8s, so they were slightly lower power, but other than that, exactly the same bloody car. Whoops. Didn't drop enough gears there through old hairpin. You probably won't get a lot of chat on this one, because this is a tricky old racetrack. Absolutely fantastic racetrack. Struggling a bit to get a rhythm going, but we're sitting in 16th, by the way.
You fucking wanker!
Someone else a bit upset. Again, chicane. Get incidents at the chicane at Donington Park. Nothing, you know. He was going. I was already turned in, and he was alongside me, and that was. He played it sensibly, actually. I'm not really going to fight. I mean, I'd already turned in when he was almost alongside me, and I saw him coming up his side and just tried to give him room. It was a very late lunge. So Redgate. Yeah, the chicane, the number of times after a race we have to sweep up the gravel at the chicane is, well, more races it happens than it doesn't. Slightly off line there because of that guy spinning. Again, old hairpin, lots of incidents there. Anyone who thinks this kind of incidents are, you know, unrealistic, that's racing, and that's racing here. It's a tough old racetrack, this one. don't think I'm starting to. I don't think I've got the braking too badly here actually now. I was really struggling, hairpin this next corner. But I'm starting to get the knack a little bit. I'm not super quick by any means. I'm not even, you know, I'm just plugging away. But wide into Redgate. Lost time there just because I was wide. It's a good field though. Started to trying to get a little bit of a hurry up. I'm in the car ahead of me. Ironically, into the chicane again. I say I'm actually a real life marshal at this racetrack, and I have seen the Radicals, the SR3s racing around here. Ooh, that was a. I've got a car to my right. He was never going to make it round the outside there. That's a better turn into there. Sitting at 13th at the moment, by the way, which is more or less where I kind of expected to be, really. And losing another couple of places during this race wouldn't surprise me either. I definitely don't have the pace around here, which is a shame, as I say. It's not as if we don't know it. I drive round here every time I marshal. Balance change I made between qualifying and the race actually don't feel too bad. But there's just some bumps which just throw me around about so much, and I think that's the challenge with the setup here, is actually dealing with the bump. Oh, he's going to get me now. Considering the damage he's got, he's actually driving quite well, and that was Martin Petrick. But I'll have a look on the inside. Sometimes drivers get scared when you do that, and it was worth a try. I'd actually got a bit of a run on him, so there's absolutely no problem having a go. I'm actually quicker in some sections than him, I think, and slower in others.
Sorry, John, I thought you'd seen me, mate. My fault.
Someone just come on the radio apologises, so there's an accident somewhere, but I don't know whether it's well, nice black lines all over Coppice, so it's quite possible that someone's there's an incident there ahead of us. Damn, locked up. I've been struggling with lockups on this round here a lot. As you come over there are a couple of braking zones where you come over crests, and it's very, very easy to lock up, and I've been doing it too often, which doesn't do my tyres any good and makes it really hard to turn in. I wish I was a little bit quicker around there. I should be. I just haven't had the time to practice and get really comfortable. And this is a challenging track. It's a really nice racetrack, but it is a challenging track. That was a slightly ambitious look at the inside. Braked much better that time. And he's spun. Nice. I just, you know, now the race settled down, I'm not averse to fighting a bit for position. It is a race, I just knew there'd be a lot of incidents. So I was conscious of that, and I was right. So I just wanted to get through the first few laps cleanly. And we had a very minor contact in that spin, but it doesn't appear to have affected the car, so let's see what we can do over the rest of this race. My fastest lap, so slow. Okay, I'll just put my teeth in. My fastest lap so far is quite slow, which explains a little bit of why I've been why I've struggling lap time wise. I qualified with a 26.9 and my fastest lap's a 28.1, but that's also the nature of this track. It's just so easy just to lose corner, especially the last two corners. You can lose a second without really realising it, and that's what I've been struggling with, consistent pace. It's just been a constant struggle to get a bit of pace. That was nice through old hairpin. Yeah, a couple of these corners just been kicking my butt something rotten. But that was actually quite nice. That's probably about the best I've done for a long time. And that wasn't bad. Again, locked up into the hairpin. Lost a second there. The lockup cost me a second. That would have been quite a nice lap, but I lost 1.3 seconds over the course of the last two corners. We're still a fastest race lap, but that just shows how easy it is to lose time around here. Bit slow there, but so ran wide. Got a nice buffer to the cars behind me, and I'm not last. Of course, those accidents helped, but I'm not sure the cars behind me actually got involved in anything. That was better. Still way off where I've had optimal times, so I don't know what's going on, you know, in that respect, but nice exit. That was another fastest race time. On iRacing, you can actually set up a splits thing that shows you how you're doing in your lap, and I'm just using that. When I'm in this kind of position, I sometimes throw it up even in a race, just to try and keep my concentration going. Try to keep laps near optimal and not over push at the same time. Hint of oversteer here then. I'm really nervous on the throttle. Traction just seems so low around here. I have tried to improve that, but I think it has worked a little bit, but I'm still nervous about, you know, the last thing that I could afford is a spin. Okay, we've gone from swearing to politeness on the in-car radio now. They're obviously working through traffic, and people are being polite, being considerate about it, which is good. What we want to see. Although I say what you want to see, you can't expect people just to jump out your way with lap traffic. Considerate about it, yes, especially if you're damaged. And we know there are some damaged cars in this field. Ooh, that was horrible. But it's more about just not fighting it. If you know, if someone's going to lap you, be considerate. Don't just jump out of the way, because that's, you don't, you know, there's no requirement to jump out of the way. The person lapping should actually make an effort to make the pass, to start the pass. And then you should just facilitate the pass. But it does depend on your own race situation as well. If I'm damaged and limping through to the end of the race, then
thank you.
I'll let people pass very cleanly. If I'm battling for position or in a car that's handling well, then, or, you know, handling fine, I won't block them, you know, or do anything silly. But I've got my own rhythm, so you sort of, you know, they'll catch you, they'll make intent known that they want to pass and which side they want to pass. This is the crucial thing with being lapped, is you let the other driver show you where he wants to pass, rather than, and this is for position, rather than, so here I'm going full right, he knows that I'm going to try and overtake up his inside, although he did shut the door rather on me there, which was a bit naughty. But that was that you know, that I didn't expect him to. I didn't go and in with the intent of him letting me past. I went in with the intent of making the pass happen, and then once he knew what I was intending to do, he would then give me a bit of space, open the turn, lift off a little bit, and just help the pass happen. Help the pass happen rather than just leap out the way. Because accidents can and do happen when the driver just leaps out the way. I mean, I've had drivers and they've said pass right, and I've already committed to the left. Look what I'm going to do, and then react to it. I mean, Simon's, I think, got a car that's handling it a little evilly because of the damage it's sustained from earlier in the race.
John, you are a very stupid man.
And we've got another place here.
John, what you fucking doing? What you fucking doing?
John has passed right. Go on, Scott.
Okay.
That's another place gained. Someone just tripped over a back marker, and it'll be interesting to review that after the race.
John, let's stay in the box now.
I'll add it's lap 15. I'll add a little bit at the end of this replay, I think, about lapping. I'll have a look at that incident and see what I thought of it. Being, you know, it's ironic that it was a lap traffic incident whilst I was talking about it, with 3 minutes left. So the next 3 minutes it's going to be quiet because I've got a driver behind me who wants to get past, and I don't want to let him past. I mean, if he puts a fair pass on me, fair enough, but like that. That was a fair pass. Ironic. This is down to 14th again. I mean, he's quicker. It's Simon Russell too is just ahead of me, and he's definitely a quicker driver than me. But in that kind of situation, you don't just let the guy past, you know. And he's still trying hard, so still a chance he'll make a mistake. You know, he's still got to fight. He's behind because he's damaged. I don't know why he's carrying damage. It could be his fault. It could have been innocent victim. Like I mean, I'm carrying a little bit damage probably from my incident. You know, well, not from my incident, from the incident at the start. It's probably 2 laps, might be 3 laps left. We're 17 seconds on the road ahead of the race leader. He might get yellow, white this time by, yeah, he should do. We've just put the fastest race lap in, by the way. The tyres here aren't getting trashed like they are at some tracks.
Thank you.
Road at America, they're getting heavily trashed. I'm getting better through that chicane all this race. But that was an optimal sector. That sector was my fastest ever sector through there. Not just in this race, but ever. Yeah, I was right. We're on to the last lap. I'm not actually pushing. I think I'm just getting used to the track. But yeah, I'll look at that Dahlgren incident at the end. Oops, didn't mean to give the name away. Skip that. I didn't name names. Although in a way you'll know it is from the race report anyway, so it's largely relevant. It's going to be talked about, just analysed and not really looked at from the point of view of whose fault it was. I'm not looking to call someone out, just talking from the point of view of lap traffic and whose fault it was. And there we are, finished 14th. So
Great win.
Let's just have a look at what happened.
I guess sorry at Jonas and
So let's have a look.
Good 2 laps up, Frederick. Good.
Right, so
Yeah, I thought you was going to pass me in the last lap.
we're coming up to the chicane.
Made a mistake.
The leader.
Last lap.
Oh well.
We're gonna have a
What?
spot, but,
Yeah.
Well done.
I think what happened there was the guy who was being lapped was actually trying to be helpful, and the guy doing the lapping wasn't particularly patient. So it was almost a classic example of what I was saying. I'm just looking through this, and basically into the chicane he just nudges the car that's being lapped as you get on the power, and I think that the car that was being lapped was probably looking to just ease off the throttle. Yeah, he wasn't particularly accelerating, and I think what he was doing was trying to keep it tight and let the number 17 car round the outside. And it's the classic example of what I was saying. What he should have done was taken the exit of the corner normally and then let him through into the hairpin. What he tried to do was let him through on the exit of the corner, which is probably the worst place you could let a car through. It's a really, 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 really wrong way to let cars through. You either let them through under braking, or you make a conscious decision to go offline once you're accelerated if it's safe to do so. You do not slow down on the exit of corners, and that's what unfortunately caused the accident. Gained us a spot, and that's what that was the result of the result was a collision, but yeah, we finished 15th. just so you know, I mean, Simon Russell was a good. Well, you know, everyone was quicker than us on the in the race, I think, except for the guys behind us. You know, 4 guys behind us we did beat on the road. I'm just going to have a look at the start and see what happened at the start. So, Redgate corner. Oh, yeah. Basically 2 cars going in side by side and they collided. It's as simple as that. It happens. It looks like I took a very, very light nudge from a car. You know, that was behind me. But yeah, that was just a racing incident. Unfortunate that several cars were involved. I mean, you got the 2 initial contacts. Another car took damage and went wide. Another one spun. Cars either stopping for the incident, like me, or actually catching damage. There was about 8 cars involved, which is unfortunate. But it was an entire racing incident. There was nothing malicious or vindictive about it. It happens, and as I said, I've seen an almost identical accident. Having just looked on the replay, it was very, very comparable in the real radicals. You know, on a real racetrack at Donington Park, same corner. These things happen. You just have to accept that they happen and just get on with your racing. It doesn't cost you any money. The one guy that I recovered, it cost him a front nose cone and a wishbone. You know, you've got to put things into perspective. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the racing, and I will speak to you soon. Ta-ra.